recording. And 3, 2, 1. Yes, start the stream. Right, and this is the point where we now wait and see if things are actually going to boot up. Because test streams are good and all.
Yes.
Oh, hey! Hey, we're live? I think we're live.
Yeah, and it's our loading GIF, too. Hey, Bryn is here! Yes!
Hey, Bryn!
Hey! Hello! Welcome!
Welcome to the shit show.
Big read!
Big read.
Yes.
Right. I guess we should actually do what we started early to do, which is audio tests.
Yes. Should we like do some, pretentious weird thing where we introduce our shelves? Yes, I'm here to introduce my shelf. My Björka, my shelf, standing right behind me, pure white. Hello.
Oh, mine are pure pine. I've lacquered them. And I've got loads of anime figures on them.
Do you think you're special? I have anime figures too.
Why are we talking about shelves?
Because I can't speak. I'm apparently Sean Connery.
Right, okay, so people in chat, how are we sounding? Because that's what we need to know right now. We've done some audio tests, but how's the music? How is everything?
Yes, basically.
And, okay, we got a good from Axis.
Oh, Manatee, hello! How dare you call me a stinky artist?
I reckon what we'll do is we'll just let people filter in and everything. And when it gets round, what could be louder, the stream itself or the music? The balance is good.
Savvy, you're a little too quiet, says Axis.
Okay. If you start hearing a buzzing, please tell me immediately. I'm going to turn myself up a smidge. How is this? I'm going to keep talking until somebody tells me to shut the fuck up. Which is not... It's going to be about 30 seconds. Is there any buzzing on your end?
No, I only hear our favorite theme.
High-pitched noise. Okay, turning it down.
Maybe you just have to talk louder? I don't know.
Maybe. I just know that my my mic, or at least my amplifier, has a tendency to get a buzz when it's at too high of a gain, which is why I'm trying to balance it a little bit. Maybe if I just bring my mic up a little higher.
Maybe. Right.
Is it good now? Oh, how are we sounding now? Is the buzzing there and you can hear us both just fine? Lovely. Okay.
Still hearing the noise, says Azor.
I'm going to try and sort that out while simultaneously...
So, everyone who can hear this alleged high-pitched noise, can you, give me a yeah in chat? To see if she
Yeah, give us a yee if you can hear a high-pitched noise. I will emphasize only if you can hear a high-pitched noise. I know how the yees get.
Yeah.
Don't start. Oh no, we got a second one. How about now? How about now, or rather, I guess.
Oh, Heavy can hear the...
Yeah, no, that's why I just... I am gonna briefly check on...
It's almost unhearable, but it's there.
I'm going to briefly check on my laptop that I've got streaming this at the moment, because that's exactly why I have it there, so bear with me 1 second.
Hello, chat. Welcome. Are you looking forward to hearing some quality literature? Written by you? Okay.
Okay, I've got some pretty high quality headphones on that thing, and I'm not hearing, or at the very least, if there is a high pitched buzz, it is it is on a scale that is registerable only to people with good hearing. So
that explains why I can't hear it.
Fair enough. Main thing is that you can hear us, though. Thank you very much,
Yes.
Prattling Bones. We did. We were really proud of this little loading gif.
Yes. Savvy did most of the job. You tell him he's good.
Yeah, but you did most of the art. Oh, whoops.
Well, I did some of the art here. I mean, I did my little avatar in the top left corner.
Oh, man. Okay.
Still have a couple of minutes.
We
so
do. I am actually going to go fill up on a glass of water again because I want to
Get the
hydrated.
carafe or whatever it's called.
Actually,
Big,
yeah, that's
big-
a good idea. I think I actually have a jug downstairs. One sec. I will be back shortly.
We have 18 people here. Hello, 18 people. Hey, Lamp. Whew. Nana with your memes. Yeah, I know, I love this theme. Yeah, who is hecking hyped for this? I am. I am hyped as hell. If someone just tuned in, Savvy's just getting some water. I'll be back in a minute. Hey, Dora. Yeah, Savvy did most of this. Like, give him a pat later. Savvy did. Oh, I just said that. Yeah, give him a good pat.
Yeah, I don't have a jug, so I'm just gonna like sip slowly.
Slow sip. You have a bunch of people tuning in here.
Wonderful. Well, we are good to go in what, like a minute?
Yeah.
Less than that, 3 seconds!
Oh no.
It's the scheduled starting time!
Oh no, I can't handle it. Right, should we like do a little introduction thing maybe?
Yeah, why not? I mean, we are all ready. We have everything set up, so we may as well give ourselves some little introductions and also explain what we're going to be doing here today. So, ChibiSheepi,
Yes.
would you like to take it away by introducing yourself?
Hello, stream. My name is, well, ChibiSheepi. I mostly do art, and most of you know me for my excellent shit posting during surprise round streams. Some of my more famous works you may know is our Sweaty Egg Lips. Quite proud of that one.
Yes. Just dab me down right now.
Yeah, that's mostly what I do. I draw shit. On to you, Savvy.
Hello, everybody. My name is Eternal-Savvy. You can also call me Savvy. You will probably most likely recognize me for my Darkest Dungeon style art that I've done for a lot of surprise rant streams. I've done other bits and pieces, but again, mostly drawing. I'm an art thought, after all, apparently.
Yes, we
But
both
yes.
are.
Yeah, we both are. But yeah, so what we've decided to do, if you hadn't guessed, is from the freaking, 2 or 3 weeks of promotion, is we're here to read out some of your guys' fan fictions. And boy howdy, are they all Eben Ward.
Yup. That's all we've received.
We have owned... Not that that's a bad thing, but I was like,
No,
maybe we'll get an anime campaign, you know? But apparently, Eben Ward guys are all about them fanfiction. Maybe it's because of all of the quality ships that is present in that show.
Yes. Also, I just want to mention, we gave you guys as an option to like have an alias for this stream because we know it can be a bit embarrassing, like having your first story or something read in front of people. None of you wanted an alias. Everyone decided to be honest and just say like, I created this.
Which is great, by the way. It's really fantastic to see people making stuff like this, and also we're really, really flattered by the response we got. We've legit got like a really good amount of content to get through. So
oh yeah. Maybe you should just tell them straight up how many stories and how long we expect this to take.
Yeah, so we've got 8 stories in store for us, and if people want us to go on a little longer, we do have the option of doing basically a random bad fanfic, which I have a couple to pick from because I have trolled through the worst sides of the internet in my youth, so I know some of the worst stuff that's out there, as I'm sure many people in the art channel will know, because we had ourselves a friendly little reading of Metroid High School last week, which was a fucking blast, by the way.
Yes, God, that was... It's seldom that I laugh so much.
Right.
Like, that cured my depression, yet gave me, like, killed my faith in humanity at the same time.
Well, we've got a really good amount of, Oh dear, hold on. Is the stream good? The stream is good, sorry. My ping dropped for a second there. No, we're good. Okay. As I was saying, the stuff that we've got is actually a really interesting mix. We've got some really lovely, heartwarming stuff, which is nice and which is, like, serious. We've got some action ones, which are a real joy. We've got a handful of shit posts and some comedy as well. So
don't spoil it now.
Hey, it's up to them to find out which one's a which. But anyway, I think we have warmed up. We've warmed up the audience enough at this point, probably. Yeah. So why not? Let's move on to our first fanfic. Is everybody? I hope everybody's ready because we are fucking doing this no matter what you guys say. Right. Let's get some proper music on.
Yes.
Would you do the honors of the music?
Gladly. Maybe we should introduce this first story.
Oh, of course. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, today we have the story, A Weird Welcome, written by Vida, a.k.a. Kestrel, at archiveatourOwn.org. This is a story which you may be able to notice includes Jasper. So let's dive right in, and afterwards we'll have a little discussion on it.
Yes.
All right. So bear with me one moment while I just get this up and loaded. Okay. Right. So here we go. A Weird Welcome by Kestrel. Summary. Jasper is happy to see her friends return from Cragmas Fisher, but there's something of utmost importance that must be done before anyone can settle in. Jasper sat in the dining hall, tuning out the sad drones of Walter and Tata tables, when she heard familiar and much more welcome voices in the hallway.
I mean, yes, it really isn't the welcome home I would want, but I'm afraid Suina's right.
All I'm saying is that we don't know what the situation around the whole $5 shrimp and golf thing is right now. You should probably stay hidden until after we report to the Duchess and find out what's going on.
Maze's reply was drowned out by the sound of a bench scraping across stone, and then toppling over as Jasper ran for the hallway. She burst out in front of the group and did a quick tally. Same number of limbs that they left with, nothing weird hanging out, looking a little travel-worn, but that was to be expected. So it seemed like things were okay.
Dia!
She shouted, throwing her hands up in the air.
Jasper!
Dia shouted back, also throwing her hands up. Jasper launched herself at Dia, who grabbed her and stumbled back, steadying herself and holding Jasper up.
How have you been there?
Dia laughed.
Oh, I've been lots of things. How are you?
She said, a little surprised to not be on the floor.
Did you get buff?
Maybe? I don't know how turning into an enormous tiger at least once a day might affect one's normal physique. I'll have to put some study into it. Fighting builds muscles,
Nash added.
That's true, but are they really my muscles? And if they build, where do they go?
Dia paused, a thought coming over her.
What if every time I transform, I'm turning into a different tiger? What would that even mean?
In a flash, Jasper remembered.
Dia, you can figure that out later. There's something important we need to do.
Yes, of course. I know we need to report to the Duchess before I
No,
can...
not that.
Jasper shook her head.
I wanted to do this as soon as you got back from Tower's Tuttle, but then me and my wolf lady had to do some druid things. So come on.
She started pulling Dia forward.
You too, Nash.
Nash lifted up his head, then cocked it.
Oh?
Yeah, come on, you old good boy.
Jasper dragged Dia back to grab onto Nash as well.
Jasper, I have dearly missed you, but a lot has happened and the Duchess really ought to know about.
Nah, Jasper said. This was far more important.
Do I...
Suino faltered for a moment.
Do I need to come as well?
Jasper shook her head.
Nah, you're alright. Just got to show these two something.
She started walking again.
If it won't take too long, I'll just go tell Sandy that we're here, and she can make an appointment with the Duchess,
Suino said to their retreating backs.
And I'll just fuck off then,
Mace called from behind.
Yeah, sure, you could do that,
Jasper said, giving no indication as to who she was talking to. There was not enough time. This needed to be fixed.
Where are we going?
Dia asked as she was pulled into a light jog.
To the library.
Did some of your snakes get loose?
I mean,
Jasper thought for a moment.
Probably. There are a lot more of the little buggers now, so it's hard to keep track of them. I think they're starting a society of some sorts on the back shelves.
Oh!
Dia said.
Good for them! But it's not a snake emergency?
Jasper shook her head. How could Dia be so smart and yet so daft?
Weren't you listening? I said I needed to show you something.
She felt a jerk on her arm as Nash abruptly stopped.
Why are we going to the library when Nash can't read?
He said, slowing down his words to make his point more clear. Jasper released Dia to pat Nash's paw.
Don't worry about it, you big lug. I'll read to you.
Nash nodded.
Okay.
Great,
Jasper grinned.
Now come on.
They followed her to the library. She ran through the door and headed for the shelves. When the other two paused behind her, Dia looked around, taking a deep breath and smiling.
Good to be home,
Nash said.
Yeah.
Dia sighed.
Things sure got a little dicey there a few times. It felt weird that time we made a call to the Duchess in case we couldn't come back. Hard to...
Nash took a breath.
Face on mortality. Yeah.
Dia looked up at him. She smiled for a moment. Then her smile faded.
There are so many disasters that could have happened. Lots of death.
Dia nodded and sighed, then looked around the library again. Jasper was coming back, dragging a massive tome. It had a letter B embossed onto the thick letter cover, with several marks slashed through it diagonally, as if somebody dragged a clawed hand across the design. Jasper dropped it on the table with a thud, then beckoned the two of them over.
Animals,
she muttered as she ran her finger along an expansive table of contents.
Annie, after angels, then animal. Okay, before all that animated junk.
There! She flipped through several hundred pages of the book, turning pages back and forth as she missed the mark, narrowing down to a chapter heading that had its own table of contents.
Dear,
Dia said.
What's going on?
Hold on, I'm almost there. She turned more pages rapidly. Assassin bug great. Badger, bat, birds, boar. Wait!
Jasper stopped and flipped several pages back. She turned one page back and forth.
B-E-A-R.
She stared forward, and her face shifting to horror. She stumbled back, dropping to her knees.
No, she said. This can't be right. This can't be.
Aww.
Dia put a hand on her shoulder.
Were you waiting all this time to show us what a bear is?
It's not in the book! But I know that bears are real! I know it, Dia! She grasped onto her hand, looking up into Dia's eyes. Just because I ain't never seen a real bear doesn't mean I don't know things. Nash leaned over and picked up the book, holding it up near his eye.
Page missing.
Dia and Jasper both looked up at him. What?
What? Page gone.
He held the book outwards towards them, pointing with one hand.
Torn out by big claws.
Jasper stared at the ragged edge, cogs in her mind turning towards an inevitable conclusion. She tilted her head back, staring through the ceiling into the heavens beyond. Bojack! All right.
End.
That was a weird welcome. Oh, so yeah. What were your thoughts on this, Chibi?
I love it. I think it's really good and it's silly and it's cute. I don't know.
I personally, this is just such a nice little fic. Like, it's got a couple of spelling mistakes here and there, but like, it's nothing that really takes you out of it. It's all very minuscule. But the general, like, the characterization of everybody in this was honestly, like, really, really spot on. It just felt like I was reading, like, Eben Ward.
Yeah, honestly, I have to agree with you. Yeah, like you said, this was really written by someone who knows the characters.
Definitely. I've got to say as well, the thing that really makes it is just the fact that there is the injection of like just little extra comments from the characters, which don't really mean anything for the story, but just really help with their characterization. The whole bit about Jasper saying, "Oh, there might be a snake colony around here now." They just definitely like I would definitely just generally really, really good job there, Vida/Kestrel.
I guess I'll just fuck off then.
I guess I'll just fuck off then.
Yeah. So good.
But yeah, absolutely spot on. Love it. Really, really good fic. Right, okay. So, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that. So we've got another one coming up. Let's just get that one open.
Yes.
God, knowing what's coming up next.
It's time.
Okay, so next up we have Love in Cragmer's Fisher, written by Missing. Right, so I hope y'all motherfuckers are ready and strapped in. Right, so I'm on the music for this one, aren't I?
Yes.
Okay, let me grab the appropriate one. Not that this one's fucking complex. Right, okay, so here we go. Take it away.
It had taken months, but Frotz had done it. He had clawed his way from what remained of Toto's tower, all throughout the Sicklands, finally to reach Cragmer's Fisher, all for one purpose: revenge. According to local gossip, a man matching the description of his mortal enemy, Mace Myers, had appeared recently in Cragmer's Fisher and was working under Calibrook, who was apparently related to Caden Calibrook. Fuck that guy, albeit under the name Reaver. Frotz stood at the door to Calibrook's office and knocked on the door.
Yes, come in.
A deep voice slurred. Frotz opened the door and froze in shock. The man who sat before him was beautiful. Frotz could instantly tell that this man was a food connoisseur like himself. He found himself getting lost in Calibrook's eyes, and he could tell that Calibrook was getting lost in his probably drow superior night vision eyes as well. It was love at first sight.
Mr. Calibrook, I brought you a triple caramelized candy deep-fried honey-eyed Hey, wait a goddamn second!
Droned an all-too-familiar voice from behind him. Mace Myers. Frotz immediately took his hand, with the knife still embedded into it, and stabbed Mace in his own hand, causing him to crumble to the floor and shriek in agony. Turning away from Mace, Frotz began to make out passionately with Calibrook, mixing the peanut butter and jelly. Behind Mace stood Redpath, aghast in horror at the revolting spectacle before his eyes. "You know what? Fuck this, I'm out," he declared, dragging the still shrieking Mace back into the kitchen with him.
Oh my god.
Oh, you can turn off the music now.
No, that's staying on while we're talking about this one. So, we've read that like 5 times and it's still fucking it's just still fucking funny. Okay. So, what are your thoughts?
This is a true piece of art, Savvy. I have nothing negative to say about this.
Yes.
As
Yes, I must say it's quite exquisite. More so than half of the food I eat while I'm in my dimension. And the subject matter, oh, perfect.
But for real, like, it's basically a shitpost, but it's like the best kind. So thank you so much for that, Missing.
If this was pandering directly towards me, then you succeeded. Absolutely. I love it.
We will. I imagine that. Sorry, because I noticed that Tora said that she missed the majority of this absolute masterpiece, and we don't want anybody missing out on this. I am currently recording this stream, so there should be a VOD put up relatively shortly after this. So don't fret. You will get to see Frotz make out with Calibrook again. Anyway. Okay. I believe it's time we moved on. Perhaps to slightly more, just slightly less that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Should I introduce this one?
Yeah, go for it.
Next up, we have a story from... Crap, who wrote this?
Prattling Bones.
Prattling Bones, finally. And they're a lovely little piece about Jasper and Faring. Disastrous druid duo. Let's get this show on the road, shall we?
Yes, one moment. Okay, go for it.
In the Sicklands, very few survive, much less thrive. But those... I don't hear the music.
Yeah, sorry, it just came in now.
But those who are corrupted by the putrid air and feverish water of the swamp, they become embodiments of the brackish hell themselves, always on the prowl for new prey to infect or kill. Despite the dangers of the Sicklands, though, 2 women trudged through its marches. The taller of the 2 had a wolf pelt draped around her shoulders, its white fur blending into her spiked hair. A cumbersome mask sit tightly underneath Farron's eyes, which scanned the horizon suspiciously. Striding in front of her, confidence or obliviousness oofing us off of her, was an elf with a vibrant tangle of ginger locks. Unlike Farron, Jasper was not wearing a filtered mask and took a deep, happy breaths from the fetid air. As a Mondegreen druid, Jasper had an immunity to the Sickland's corruption, having grown up in it.
Hey, Farron.
Jasper. Sorry. Wow, that was my instincts cutting in. You go for it.
Jasper yelled, her Gaelic accent cutting through the quiet, ominous atmosphere.
What was it like to have Grand Huntress at your place anyway? Well, it was after a Wendigo attack, so there wasn't many people. But apart from that, it was fun. We held a contest where we each had to get packs of wolves to do different tricks. Oh, really? What did you do then? Well, I got him to start with a wolf pyramid, but then had them cartwheel off each other, and then when...
A scaled snout ringed with fleshy whiskers burst from the water between the druids, interrupting whatever it was Farron was going to boast about. The thing rose from the march, mud dripping from its slouched skin. Gazing up at her was a bulbous, bipedal crocodilian with spindly limbs ending in webbed talons, and no eyes. Its snout pulsated up at them, sniffing the air in front of it. Before either druid could react, the thing had smacked Farron into a mangrove with its double-ended tail and tore off her backpack. In a flash, it dived back into the marsh, backpack in tow, and raced off in a search of water. Jasper rushed over to Farron and tried to help her lift up her from the tree she had crashed into.
Oi, you doing all right down there? What?
Farron growled as she had readjusted her mask.
The fuck was that thing? Oh, that? Just a grabby gator. Pretty small one, too.
Farron got up, shaking scraps of slimy bark off of herself. She then stared at Jasper in disbelief. In the few past days, she felt like she had gotten used to some of the nonsense which came out of Jasper's mouth, but it seemed she still had a few surprises left in store.
What did you just call that thing? A grabby gator. They just steal anything they like off the smell of it. Sorry. They just steal anything they like the smell of. I hate the bastards. Stole one of my first snakes years ago. I don't believe you. Why the hell not? I've lived here all of my life. I should know.
Jasper said, huffing indignantly.
Anyway, we should probably get back to finding my clan.
Farron glared at Jasper.
Jasper, that fucking thing stole all of my stuff. Well, that's okay. We can probably get that stuff replaced when we get back to Monday. I was carrying the Rift Crystal.
Farron said, with a deadpan expression. A glowing shard the size of a fist, with green patterns oscillating on its surface. Neither of the druids knew what the Rift Crystal actually did. All they knew was that Jasper's clan, the Mondegreen Druids, had wanted it for whatever reason. It was the duo's bargaining chip for information, or at least would have been it before it was stolen.
Well, shit.
Jasper said after a few seconds.
Alright, I guess we gotta find that grabby gator then.
Jasper led the way, her pointed ears twitching at every noise as she tried to discern the telltale splashing of the bloated reptile, apart from the creaking of mouldering trees and bellowing of distant beasts which filled the air. Because the sky of the Sicklands was constantly choked in a thick, acidic smog, it was difficult to tell how much time passed as they hunted the scaly bandit. Eventually, the two walked further into the swamp. A monolith of damp logs and mulch rose into view, like a senile old man rising out of his chair to proclaim himself as king. A rancid stench of regurgitated meat crept from the primitive structure, as a plethora of creatures, almost identical to the thief of the druids were after, milled around it. They waved their long, gibbon-like arms in the air as they chanted in a garbled tongue. Placed in front of the tower, almost out of place in the quagmire around it, was a small hoard of gold and other shiny relics, including the Rift Crystal. Farron glared at the creatures, disgust clearly showing in her eyes, and whispered to Jasper.
Do they usually live in tribes? Nah, the greedy bastards hate each other as much as I like the smell of shiny things.
Jasper answered cheerfully, oblivious to Farron's attempt at stealth.
I've got no idea what the buggers are up to.
Suddenly, the diminutive creatures spun their heads around at the sound of Jasper talking. They charged at the loud-mouthed elf, screaming, "Get off Grindelow land! It's ours!" brandishing rusted daggers and snapped spears.
See?
Farron said, stabbing one of the things with an icicle.
I told you they weren't called fucking grabby gators.
Jasper hopped out of the way of one of the charging Grindelows, their stretched arms flailing as they bluntly sought their intruders. As she pulled an elegantly carved bow from her back and fired an arrow into the crowd, pinning two of the Grindelows together.
Who are you gonna believe?
Jasper said, taking aim at the crowd again.
A druid who lives here, or some dumb grabby gators?
For the next few minutes, it appeared as if the druids had the upper hand. Sharp, frozen shrapnel burst from the ground, eviscerating Grindelows into a fine red mist. Volleys of arrows speared through the multiple Grindelows. Dozens were frozen by sudden blizzards, and then shattered by well-shot projectiles. As more and more of the disgusting things were slaughtered through, a low, guttural noise rippled through the battlefield. One of the Grindylows, holding a stained horn, hopped off the tower of logs and cackling to itself. The Grindylows, or rather what was left of the Grindylows, began scampering away from the noise into the nearby waters. Before either druids could question it, a gigantic forked tongue of the color of a bruise slithered out of the top of the tower, before being followed by a gigantic serpentine head. Its head was lined with numerous horns, and its dead brown skin, speckled by tufts of lichen, camouflaged into the tower. As it glided out of the tower and down its side, its cold, corpse-like eyes reflected dull in the daylight. Jasper stared at the Leviathan, her mouth agape.
I don't bloody believe it.
Isn't that a basilisk?
Yeah,
Jasper
Jasper-
said. Sorry.
Jasper said, unable to take her eyes off the enormous snake in front of her.
it's Gertrude. I can't believe she's still alive.
Gertrude? What the hell are you talking about?
Farron's eyes widened with a sudden understanding.
Are you trying to tell me that one of your first snakes was a fucking basilisk?
Jasper shrugged.
Well, I didn't know she was a basilisk back then. She was just a little baby.
She turned to Farron.
I hate to say it, but you should probably freeze her. She never liked people.
Farron grimaced.
I already used up all of my magic for the day.
Well, shit. I ran out of arrows a while back. Do we have anything else?
Without warning, the tremendous head of the basilisk rammed into Farron, carrying her through several trees. Splinters erupted around her as the beast raced around the tower, trying to throw her off its snout and into its mouth. Screwing up her eyes tightly to avoid the deadly gaze of the serpent, Farron did the only thing she could. She brought her fist down onto the basilisk's head, again and again. Each blow, which would have knocked most people out, ricocheted off the mighty snake's scales. Whilst it did nothing to deter the creature, it did manage to make Farron feel slightly better about the ordeal. Jasper rummaged through her pockets, trying to find something which could help, when she grasped onto warm metal. Hoping that it was a dagger of some kind, she pulled it out, only to reveal a small gun. From Barrett's workshop, the firearm looked more like a combination of a small brass cannon and a boiler, and something was stuffed into its bulbous barrel. Not quite certain on how to hold on to the thing, Jasper aimed at the writhing basilisk, which was still trying to bite onto Farron, and murmured,
Sorry about this, Gertrude.
before firing the gun. A bright flash of magenta burst from the flare gun, flinging Jasper back. It shot through the air, leaving behind the smell of burnt ozone, detonated in a brilliant white light against the basilisk's eye. Flames of scarlet, fuchsia and white burned across the monster, making it look like a serpent of living fire. It hisses, twisted into a strangled scream as it thrashed in pain, tossing Farron off. After a few agonizing moments, the basilisk lay still, now only a burning husk. Jasper walked up to Farron, whose hair was littered with small embers, carrying the rift crystal.
I'm sorry about the rest of your stuff.
She said.
I think they broke it.
Ah, that's alright. As long as we got the crystal, then it doesn't matter.
Farron stretched her arms, warm soot falling off of her.
What I want to know is what the hell was that?
Oh, this? Yeah, it's some kind of gun I got from Barrett. Crazy bastard must have put a ton of gunpowder into it.
Kinda wish we had more. That kind of firepower could be very useful.
Farron said, shrugging.
Should we start heading back to the Montegreen then?
Reunited with the crystal, the two ambled past the cackling, burnt remains of the basilisk and backed into the ominous depths of the Sicklands.
Lovely. Well,
Yay!
what... And I guess we'll go from the top. What were your thoughts?
I really like this one.
Get ready to keep hearing that. We like all of these. They are all great.
Yeah, but that's what I think. This was probably one of the first ones that I received that was like an action type kind of story, because honestly, the way we like advertised this stream was kind of like, yeah, send us your fanfics about like Maze X Myers or something.
Maze X, his last name. Guys, get on that right now.
But this was a happy surprise, honestly.
Yeah, honestly, it was really nice to see something which is essentially just an action fic that really came out of this, and just honestly really well written. The thing about action that can be really difficult sometimes, especially considering that I listen to a lot of audiobooks as well, if you can't as a writer keep people on track with what's happening, because it's one thing in, say, a comic to have poor conveyance of what is leading into what and where the action is and who is hitting who and all of that. But it's another thing to have to describe all of that, one, compellingly, two, in a way that actually feels like high tension and energetic, and three, in a way that actually keeps the reader aware of where everyone is and what's happening without being like, wait a minute, when were they like, when was she thrown against the tree or something? So genuinely very well written action. I didn't lose track of it at any point.
Yeah, you put this into words a lot better than I do, Savvy.
Thank you. I'm just good at bullshitting most of the time. But that case was not bullshit. That was all true, because I actually had to think about this after reading that, and I really wanted to kind of nail down what was so good about it. So I genuinely had a little bit of a think about what it was that made that really good. And you write action good. That is absolutely something that you should take away from that.
Yeah, Prattling, be proud of yourself for this one. Be proud.
All right.
I gladly read more stuff from you in the future.
Yeah, absolutely. We'd love to see more from you.
Yeah. From all of you, of course. Not exclusively Prattling.
Yeah. No, next stream, Prattling Bones. Only Prattling Bones. No one else allowed.
Oh dear.
All right. Well, okay, we have
maybe I turn off the swamp.
Yep, just did. Right. Okay.
Ooh.
So next up we have A Night in a Lonely Inn, written by Decro McQuinn. Would you like to introduce this one as well?
How about you do it?
Okay, will do. So this one is another pleasant surprise in that this was another one which was geared to be a bit more serious and a bit more about action as opposed to shenanigans. Which is really cool, because we're seeing both sides of Ebon Ward represented really nicely in these fics. But this one, if you hadn't guessed by the title screen, is about our good friend Musty McCaw. So,
yes.
Would you like to take it away?
The rain beat against the old roof of the wind-battered inn. The heavy patter of drops steadily soaked the squat window panes to the point of distorting their vistas of the darkened, surrounded hillsides. A few buckets had been placed underneath spots where the ceiling had given up on its seemingly endless war with the elements. Fortunately, the walls of the building were made of sterner stuff, despite their creaks and groans of complaint against the sharp, howling winds stood their ground. Apart from the wails of the wind, there were only 3 sounds present in the inn. The soft cackle of old logs and embers in the central hearth, the contrasting upbeat songs from excuse me,
No problem.
from the rather dashing bard who was spending the night, and the rattle and clatter of the sign outside the vengeful winds, upset with their inability to steal away the whole building, attempted to at least take its name. try as it might, this place would always have its name, the Double Barrel. The bard finished his set and took a seat at the bar. He took a look around the quiet tap room, empty save for him and the mysterious innkeeper. Yeesh! Slow night, am I right? The bard intoned. He was a handsome fellow with a roguish demeanor and long blonde hair. There was little to differentiate him from most bards, save for a tongue ring he was wearing, which the innkeeper could swear glinted with a hint of magic. The innkeeper nodded.
I suppose it's likely on account of the storm out. You'd have to be a fool or in a hurry to be out in that. Still, a deal's a deal. If nothing else, your song's kept me from dozing off. The room's yours for the night.
The innkeeper paused for a moment before lifting his hat up from over his face.
Say, I don't think I've heard that one song before, though, about the Tiger Princess.
Oh yeah, it was something I've been working on. You'd probably never believe me, but a lot of that comes from personal experience. The innkeeper raised an inquisitive eyebrow.
You mean to tell me that you saw a lady turn into a tiger and fight off a swarm of weird puppet things?
Getting Scottish there. Yeah, that was the reaction I was expecting.
Sorry, I believe you. It's just that it reminds me of something similar that happened to me once.
Oh? Well, I'm always looking for new stories if you want to share it. The innkeeper chuckled a bit at the bard's haste.
Maybe another time. It's a bit grim, and there's parts that drag on longer than they need to.
As the bard and the innkeeper continued chatting, there was a knock at the door. Oh, looks like there's someone out of the roads tonight, the bard mentioned.
Oh yeah, reckon they're probably sick of the rain. Door's open, come in.
The innkeeper called. The door opened, letting in a sudden blast of cold wind and rain that stirred the fire in the hearth into a wild flickering spirit before the door closed and it settled back down. In stepped three rough-looking figures. The one in the middle was clearly the leader of the three by the way he carried himself and the fact that he carried a grim-looking cutlass, where there were other two only equipped with simple wooden clubs. Each of them wore the same crooked smile usually reserved for wanted posters. There was no mistake. These newcomers weren't here for a good drink and a warm bed.
Wow, hello.
The leader of the goons called out across the taproom, sweeping his gaze over it for any would-be heroes.
Me and my friends seem to have gotten lost. We're looking for some place so we can get a lot of coin fast. You wouldn't happen to know of any place like that, would you?
The innkeeper met the gaze of the leader steadily and replied.
Well, as you can see, it's fucking American. Sorry, guys.
Shh, it's gay. Keep going.
Well, as you can see, we aren't very busy tonight, so I'm afraid I don't need any extra hands at the moment. But you're more than welcome to come back on a clearer night if you want to help out.
The leader laughed at his reply.
Damn, you must have stone for skin under those feathers if you're that dense. Well, if you don't have enough money to satisfy us, then we'll just have to beat you till we're bored to make up for the lost money.
He then went to approach the bar. He had only taken one step when a gunshot rang out through the tavern. The explosive suddenness of the sound caused everyone in the inn to either stop dead, or in the case of the bard, jump in surprise. The innkeeper stood behind the bar with a musket raised to his shoulder. In the blink of an eye, he had pulled it from under the bar counter, aimed, sighted, and fired. The goon leader quickly looked down at himself and checked for wounds. Finding none, he turned to see if one of his cohorts had been hit, which is when he saw a small hole over the door behind him. This caused another round of laughter to burst from the goons, although it was far more nervous than before.
I would like to take this moment to just apologize for the fact that I totally forgot who the innkeeper was meant to be. So, hey guys, Eternal Savvy is a complete idiot, and I've been reading that in the wrong voice. So, sorry guys.
It's okay, try again.
Yep, anyway, you idiot, you missed me! Check again. That was a warning shot.
What?
The goon leader fucking... Wow, it's Sav messing up today.
The goon leader turned again, this time seeing the full picture. Just above the bullet hole was carved a small arrow, almost imperceptibly small, that pointed out exactly where the shot had been gone through. He turned back when he heard the snap of the musket being reloaded. Internally, he scolded himself for giving the innkeeper the chance to reload.
I'm only giving you one chance to leave here alive. I don't take any joy in killing, but if you come after me, I won't have a choice.
Yeah? Well, you already got one shot, and there's 3 of us, so what's stopping us from just rushing you?
The leader managed to shout with what appeared to be confidence, but in reality he was getting desperate.
4 seconds.
What?
The brigand stammered.
That's how long it takes me to reload.
The innkeeper explained.
You're currently 40 foot away from me. It would take you at least 6 seconds to reach me. Certainly, you can all try and rush me at once, but one of you is gonna get shot between the eyes on your way over here. Then I'll reload and take another one of you out. One of you will reach me, but the question is, which one of you is brave enough to bet it's going to be you?
The goon leader was sweating now.
You're bluffing. Even if you can reload that fast, it's no guarantee that you'll hit every shot.
He was regaining his confidence now, except that when he looked into the eyes of the innkeeper, he didn't see a hint of a bluff or bluster. To the innkeeper, his first words were facts, colder and harder than the flinty eyes that pierced into his soul. Fortunately for the goon leader, his underlings seemed to have agreed with his assessment that the innkeeper was bluffing and seemed only a little hesitant to charge their target. If he hesitated for just a second, he'd be behind both of the underlines, and the innkeeper would likely shoot whoever was closest to him. He waited for just a moment longer to steel himself, then barked the order.
Get him!
The first shot rang out. The goon on the left fell. As the leader charged forward, he kicked the table up in front of himself, forcing the innkeeper to change target at the last second. As he finished reloading, he shot the second goon, who was only a few steps away from the bar as she fell into one of the stools and didn't get back up. The innkeeper tried to reload before the leader reached him, but wasn't nearly quick enough, as the leader jumped onto the bar and thrust his cutlass down at him. The innkeeper managed to duck just in time, sending the cutlass deep into the wood where his head was just moments before. Thinking on his feet, the leader left his sword embedded in the wood and jumped off the bar onto the innkeeper, kicking away the musket and drawing a dagger as he did so. The innkeeper struggled to escape, but the goon leader was too experienced at killing helpless victims and had firmly pinned his foe.
Looks like you weren't quick enough to get all of us. Whatever. More loot for me.
That selfishness is gonna be your downfall someday. You know that, right?
The innkeeper managed to say through his foe's iron hold on him.
Maybe one day.
The goon leader only got that far before a drum crashed into the side of his head. With an expression of total shock on his face, the leader slumped over, revealing the bard standing behind the 2 prone figures. Still shaking with adrenaline, he extended a hand to help up the innkeeper, who nodded gladly and took it.
Well, I'd say you've more than earned that room now. Feel free to stay as long as you like, Mr. You know...
The innkeeper
Sorry.
paused.
You know, this is gonna sound rude, but I don't think I've ever caught your name.
The bard was finally managing to calm down before answering. Oh yeah, it's Alfonso. Actually, now that you mention it, did I ever get your name? The innkeeper chuckled a little.
To a lot of people, I'm just the mysterious musket master. But friends call me Musty.
Alfonso hadn't let go of Musty's hand yet, and so Musty took the opportunity to shake it. Pleased to meet you. They said both at once. Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah.
That is a really good one, but I have to apologize because I legitimately, first time reading that, thought that Musty showed up and then, like, helped out. So, I thought the innkeeper was a different character.
How could you forget that? God damn it.
I legitimately don't know. I think I just, like, was having a fucking seizure when I was reading that, clearly. My apologies I got that wrong, but either way, that was an absolutely fantastic story, and really just, like, that whole bit with Musty saying about, like, you know, the 4 seconds and reloading. Oh, good shit.
Yes, really good. I also liked how, like, the rise in tension, how it was gradual.
Yeah.
It was really nice.
Yeah, that was another example of I wouldn't, like, because the other one I think was very much more about, like, keeping track of the action. This one was really good at that as well, but I think where it excelled was definitely the building of the tension. Although clearly, I'm an idiot, because, like, I was paying too much attention to that side of things, obviously, and not to the fact that the innkeeper was fucking Musty McCaw, so, you know, fuck me, I guess.
You live and you learn.
Yeah.
Live and learn, hanging on to the edge of tomorrow.
Okay, now you're learning a bit too much. I
Okay,
feel.
yeah.
Calm down.
Let's move on. Oh, I really like this next one, actually.
Oh, yes.
I really like this next one. Okay, so this next fiction is named Can't Gut an Idea, written by Vida Orchestral. Once again, thank you very much. We appreciate it. So, I guess I'll just give the summary that they gave, which is: when racing to save some friends made in Yezmadaz, Nash forgets something important. You ready?
Yes.
The ruins echoed with footsteps as the group made their way forward. The symbols on the walls were old and unintelligible, which was not really notable to Nash, but it was curious that neither Dia nor Maze recognized the alphabet. Nash stopped, cocking his ears as he heard something odd. Suino looked back at him.
Hear something, big guy?
Nash listened carefully.
Music!
He said, but it was more than that. There was something familiar about the sound that he was having trouble placing. Then, the 3 gunshots rang out, and everything clicked. Nash, Suino, and Dia all turned to look at each other.
No way,
Suino said, looking back at her friends.
What are they doing here?
Who? Jasper looked confused.
Friends from Cragmer's Fisher.
Dia said.
We'll explain later. It sounds like they're in trouble.
The 5 of them took off running down the hallway, following the sounds of frantic saxophone. Nash galloped into the lead, his sword drawn.
Bossa Nova, I don't mean to alarm you, said a familiar voice, but it sounds like more are coming.
Don't worry, I am already alarmed. We're here to help!
Dia shouted forward.
Don't shoot us!
Nash burst from the hallway into a wide stone room with steps going up all around. Up high near one wall stood Bossa Nova and Saphira, and all sides were surrounded by grasping shadowy forms. Bossa Nova's song skipped beats as he flashed in and out of view. Saphira loaded her gun with incredible speed, firing 3 more shots into the nearest creature. It fell, but there were many more behind it. Nash charged forward, swinging his sword in a great arc, bisecting one of the horrors that was crawling towards the pair. With a yell that sparked flames, Suino leapt in next to him. Maze raced forward, ducking and weaving to get behind their enemies, where he cut them down efficiently. Dia took to the air to close the distance between them and the cornered targets of the hordes, while Jasper covered her flight with a rain of arrows. Within moments, the battle was won, and they all stood panting, surrounded by gore and corpses.
I can't say I expected that you would be here.
Said Bossa Nova, dusting himself off as his image stopped flickering.
But I am glad to see you. But I am so glad to see you.
Hey, Dia, Jasper said. Who are these fancy folks?
I am Bossa Nova, and this is...
He paused, then turned.
Miss Belinda, enough people have called you Dia that I am beginning to suspect that your name is not actually Belinda.
Ah, shit, just Jasper said. Were you undercover or something when you met?
Yes, in fact we were, but don't worry about it, dear.
Dia turned back to the pair of drow.
I'll admit that I feel a little bad that we never told you to.
Still, probably shouldn't tell them everything.
Suino interrupted.
Don't worry about it.
Bossanova grinned.
You have just saved my life, so I am feeling very charitable. Dia diadem.
Dia offered her hand, and Bossanova shook it.
Excellent. Zafira,
He turned.
come say hello to our good friends.
Zafira looked up from cleaning her gun. Hilo. Jasper and Maze introduced themselves, and Suino waved awkwardly.
Still Suino, she said. Kinda assumed my name wouldn't mean anything in Cragmer's Fisher, so I didn't bother with that whole fake name thing.
Bossanova nodded.
And what happened to your cousin, the little boy? Did you leave him home this time?
His hat! Nash abruptly realized he wasn't wearing his hat. Not being in a city, being in supposedly empty ruins had made it slip his mind. And now it was too late. Too late for the hat. He said, trying to think of any words that would make the situation go away. Bossanova looked at him with an expression of confusion, and then realization dawned across his face.
That voice didn't really make sense for a little voice, did it?
Nash felt all his muscles tense. But he knew that if he reached for his sword, it would only make things worse. It would confirm everything anyone thought about him, that he was an animal, ready to go at the throat of civilization. But his instincts were singing. He was in danger. He needed to fight. He needed to protect. But there was no way to gut an idea. He couldn't step in front of an accusation to take the hit instead. What could he do when his own self was on the line, and there was nothing to shield him anymore? Suino stepped in front of him protectively.
Nash is our friend, and he's not gonna hurt you. Right, buddy?
Nash nodded, trying to look non-threatening.
Would never hurt friends.
Bossanova stared up at him.
My dark god, everything makes sense now. Nash, sorry for lying.
He hoped it would be enough. Sorry was a word that could magically diffuse a situation. He knew that. But it wasn't a powerful magic. Sorry never fixed everything.
Don't worry about it. And actually...
Bossanova took a deep breath.
Thank goodness.
Zafira, who had been observing the situation closely, swung her gun onto her back. In the same moment, Maze stopped studying Bossanova's movements and slipped his dagger back into its sheath.
Oh?
Nash asked.
Yes. I am so intensely relieved that we did not bring a little boy into the business with the entertainer. I feel just a little bit better about that horrid affair now, because at least I am not partially responsible for traumatizing a child.
Dia laughed.
That's fair. Church girl,
He turned to Suino.
I need to clear the air. I have been wondering what the fuck you were doing bringing a child into this, but I was wrong.
Suino laughed as well.
Yeah, Nash is no little boy.
Was wearing magic hat, but just illusion.
Nash explained. Bossanova smiled and nodded. Then another spark of realization crossed his face.
I kept telling you to get behind me.
Oh,
Maze said, snapping a finger.
this is the idiot who kept trying to protect you even though he's made of paper.
Nash, not say that.
Nash said quickly.
Ah,
Bossanova winked.
so you've heard of me.
Zafira walked over, passing in between everyone who was having a conversation to get to Nash. Hold for a moment, she said, before putting a foot on his thigh and taking a step up. Nash shifted his weight to balance as Zafira walked up him. She stepped onto his shoulders, then looked around. Yes, this is good. Very tall. She sat down.
Looks like you have the Saphira mark of approval.
Bossanova smirked, then looked back to Dia.
So, what brings you here?
That is probably... Like, that's definitely one of the favourite ones we got, to be honest. In my opinion, for me at the very least.
The first time I read this one, I didn't expect something so so honestly heartwarming.
Yeah, like it's really weird. We got 8, right? But yet all of them kind of somehow encapsulate one aspect of the Ebon Ward, which is just like really just nails it. It's we've got like the shit posting side, the comedy side, the darker side, the action, and this was like the genuine heartwarming stuff, which is great that it includes Nash as well, because fucking goodest boy.
Yes, best boy.
I'd like to read out the notes as well that was written at the bottom of this as well, because it's actually quite I quite like it.
Please do.
That conversation in episode 25 about the struggle of living as yourself was a big mood. Watching Nash sit there, afraid to be himself, even in that conversation, really felt familiar, and I just really wanted acceptance for him. So I wrote this. Also, a line I wrote and then changed because I'm either a coward or have artistic integrity is, he was in danger, he needed to fight, he needed to protect, but there was no way to gut an idea. DR did not apply to prejudice. Keep that in mind, guys. DR does not apply to prejudice. Could save your life one day. You never know.
You never know.
The more you know. Hold on. I feel like I could get hold of that sound effect real quick.
No, it's okay.
No, I'm doing it.
There's no stopping him. Oh, okay. God. But yeah.
There you go. I had my fun. Just, jokes are funny when there's cold silence before they happen, right?
Yes, that's quality humor.
Quality entertainment here.
Anyway.
Here at twitch.tv/eternal_savvy.
It doesn't have the same ring to it as twitch.tv/warplamp. Tell your friends.
Yeah, no.
Anyway.
Let's go on.
Yeah, next one. Here we go. This next one is titled Maze and Bossa Nova Fight Over Something Stupid by Decro McQuinn.
Yes, let's just get into this.
Yeah, let's just fucking jump into this fucking thing straight away. One moment. We are good to go. It was a dark evening in Yezmadaz, as it always was because it was underground. The crowds were out and about between the stalls and arcades of the market district, passing the time until the big event started. The marketeers hawked their wares to passerbys, many of whom had come from the Cragmas Fisher just for the festivities. Not only was this going to be the first major event of its kind in town, but it would be between a complete stranger of mysterious origins and a local celebrity of much infamy. Everyone had been surprised when Bossa Nova had announced that he had met a white-cloaked stranger with a poor attitude. Then that excitement went to ecstatic when he had further announced that he had accepted a duel from this individual.
Mace! Bossa Nova! You both know this is foolish. Why don't you just call it off before it gets out of hand?
Dia pleaded with her two friends as they sat on either end of the room, shooting dark glares at each other.
I am sorry, Belinda, but this becloaked hooligan has besmirched my good name, and I'm afraid I cannot let that stand.
Bossa Nova retorted without breaking eye contact.
Look, I'm sorry I didn't realize it was a faux pas to call somebody a puppet fucker, even if they did put their junk in a piece of wormwood,
May said in a bored monotone.
Ham was a wonderful lover and a good lay, and I will not have you slander him nor I.
Nash quickly grabbed Bossa Nova by the shoulders and held him fast in case he charged the Dampier. Maze was unfazed by the outburst and pretended to become very interested in a pattern etched into a nearby wall. Hold on. Who is this? Suino, right.
Look, I know it's not the best solution, and I don't like it either. But I think at this point, we can't really back out. Everyone in Yezmadaz is coming to see this thing. If we canceled now, it would do more harm than good.
Suino put in, always trying to be the voice of compromise. She stood in between Bossanova and Maze in case either of them made a move against one another. As a precaution, she had also taken away Maze's javelins for the time being, much to Maze's contempt.
Maze, you dug yourself into this hole. You'll have to get yourself out. I'm perfectly capable of getting myself out of this mess of a showdown this fop has drummed up between us. The issue is going to be that I'm not going to help clean up anything when I'm done.
Maze retorted sharply.
Oh, so first you insult me and my love life. Next you think you are some sort of super warrior, do you? Well, I'm afraid that once we get into the arena, you'll be sorely disappointed by how much your skills measure up to mine.
I'm sure you mean I'll be disappointed in how your talking skills are your only skills.
Why, you?
All right.
Suino interrupted the two before things got too heated.
You two can't be kept in the same room anymore. Zafira and Rocky, could you take Bossanova to the other combatants' room?
Zafira and Nash both nodded and led Bossanova out of the room, but not before he made one last face at Maze. Maze, for his part, stared blankly at his upcoming competitor and blinked twice. As the others were leaving, Dia leaned in and whispered something to Maze.
You know, I'm kind of torn here. On one side, it hurts me to watch two close friends go at each other like this, but on the other hand, I'm really excited to see this fight go down. Just promise me that you won't hurt him too bad. He has a pretty solid reputation around here, and it might be in your best interest to not piss off these loyal fans.
Dear, I respect you as a friend, but I'm afraid that this Bossanova character has brought this on himself, and he's going to have to learn the hard way that if you mess with a silver hand, you mess with the silver hands, and I can't let that stand any more than he can.
Well, if that's how you feel, but I wouldn't underestimate him. He's gone through some hard emotional stuff lately, and you never know what a man in that state is capable of.
I'll try to keep that in mind.
The audience was on the edge of their seats in the arena. They were cheering, screaming, and generally making a big ruckus. Ava Lachlan took his position in his private box, which overlooked the arena area.
Hello, good friends and citizens of Yezmadaz. I don't normally perform this sort of thing, but someone came to me with an Ava says so and asked me to. I was about to tell him to do a jump out of a window, but then it occurred to me that this guy might try and use this ticket on something equally as stupid. Best to solve the problem when it presents itself, I always say.
Ava dusted himself off as he sat down, placing a small puppet on his desk next to the microphone.
Now then, I believe this is a fight between Bossanova and some guy I've never heard of? Ah, jeez.
Ava slumped his face into one hand as he overlooked the stadium below.
Well, we better get this started before the crowd starts hurting itself.
After rustling a few papers and adjusting the microphone so that it was just in the perfect position, Ava began.
Welcome, beautiful ladies and gentlemen of Yezmadaz, and our friendly visitors from Kragma's Fisher. I hope you're all ready for a rousing display of true combat.
Ava was met with an explosive response of cheering from the assembled crowd. The uproar was so strong that patrons of the Blushing Lamb would later report on an unusually noisy tremor.
Well then, without further ado, allow me to introduce to you our fighters. In the purple corner, we have our home fighter. You all know him. He's everyone's friend with too many benefits. The wild card bard. It's Bossanova. As the crowd somehow managed to roar even louder, Bossanova swaggered out into the arena.
Hello, my beautiful friends. I hope you're all having a grand evening.
Bossanova played up the crowd by blowing kisses and waving to excited young crowd members.
And in the indigo corner, Ava continued, we have the stranger from the surface. What mysteries does he keep stashed in that cloak of his? What secrets have lived behind his dead eyes? It's Maze Myers.
At this point, Maze stepped out of the shadows of the indigo corner of the arena and towards the circular center. As he gave the crowd a bored once-over, he was briefly reminded of Jasper's snakes, and this one time he encountered a gaggle of ghosts due to all of their booing and hissing.
So this is how it's gonna go then. Fun.
Ava set the papers aside as the two combatants in the arena made their way to their starting positions.
Alright, I read everything this guy gave me to read, so I'm gonna go home now. I hope you all enjoy your fight.
And with that, Ava went home and enjoyed a quiet evening dusting his puppet collection. The two fighters, Maze and Bossa Nova, squared off on either side. Hold on. Sorry, needed to check something. The two fighters, Maze and Bossa Nova, squared off on either side of the bowl-shaped arena, standing in their starting positions, which were marked by chalk. For the first time all day, a hush of anticipation grew over the crowd. Their excitement barely contained, as the air between the two men grew more and more tense. Soon, the air within the arena felt so taut that it could snap at any minute.
Well, are you ready to go? Or do you need a few more minutes to schmooze the crowd?
Just a little longer, my dear becloaked bastard. You can't spoil a moment like this. All eyes on you. Isn't it exciting?
Not particularly. My line of work doesn't usually have me front stage, bitch.
How sad. Well, I suppose we shouldn't keep our beautiful audience waiting any longer, shall we?
Let's.
The two fighters nodded to each other. Each reached for their respective blades and drew them, and with a cry from each of them, the battle was on its way. Let it rip!
Let it rip!
Bossa Nova and Maze launched their Beyblades into the arena, each spinning with such force that it kicked up a large plume of dust in the seldom-used stadium. Amidst the thick cloud, sparks could occasionally be seen as the two bays collided with each other. In the stands, Dia and Zafira gave their thoughts on the battle below.
I hate to say it, but Bossa Nova is doomed. Mace's Bay, Silver Hand, is a legendary attack-type Beyblade. He'll take out Bossa Nova's Bay before he even knows what hits him.
Dia said, biting a thumbnail.
I don't think so.
Zafira interjected.
There is one thing Bossa Nova's Bay is good at. It's staying out of harm's way. Unlike him, it can take a lot of damage before it is out of the fight.
Another clash between the two blades in the arena sent out shockwave, then knocked the crowd back in their seats, their cheering redoubling as they collectively leaned forward again. The only two figures in the whole building, even the whole city in all likelihood, were the two fighters staring each other down with a steely gaze that would have sparked bolts of lightning between the two of them, if the humidity had been right for it. The two blades shot away from each other after Silver Hand made another pass, striking Bossa Nova's blade hard, a smattering of sparks shooting off in a cloud of blinding particles.
You should really just give up at this point. You're just kind of staling the inevitable, and I've really got better things to do,
May said, stifling a yawn.
I would not count myself out just yet.
Bossa Nova pointed to his blade, and to Maze's surprise, it was still spinning, with almost as much power as it had before.
What the hell? I hit your stupid blade head on and it's barely phased. What gives?
See, you're not from around here, my pallid pal of mine. Otherwise you would know that the legendary stamina of my bay. Like me, it can keep going all night if it needs to.
Bossa Nova winked to the crowd and he blew a kiss, much to the delight of several of the front row audience.
We'll see about that, bitch.
Silver Hand charged straight at Bossa Nova's bay, striking it so hard that it ricocheted into a nearby wall. It cracked into the solid stone with a sharp noise that echoed off the arena walls, before landing again, still spinning, albeit with far less vigor than before. Bossa Nova grit his teeth at the impact. It was a solid blow that left him at a disadvantage. Meanwhile, Maze gave him a grim smile. This distraction wouldn't take much longer at this rate. Silver Hand came around for what looked like the finishing blow against Bossa Nova. Bossa Nova closed his eyes and waited for the end, when he suddenly heard a cry from the audience. Oh, hold on. My fucking scroll just messed up. There we go. When he suddenly heard a cry from the audience, a cry that was slowly coming closer.
Bossa Nova!
Came the wooden clattering as the figure rushed out towards the bard.
Ham! But how?
Bossa Nova sputtered, suddenly trying to keep in a burst of emotions.
I don't understand it either. I thought I was a goner, but once the entertainer took me out, but somehow I woke up later. A little worse for wear, but I can still move for the most part.
Ham punctuated his point by swinging his arm, which promptly fell off and landed in the dirt at his feet. Bossa Nova picked up the wooden puppet man and hugged him.
Who cares, Ham? I'm just glad to have you back.
Hey, are you two chuckle fucks finished, or can we get this over with?
Maze called, becoming quickly fed up with the whole scene. Bossa Nova blinked for a second, then looked back into the arena where the two Beyblades were still fighting, then looked back over to Maze.
You know, I don't super care about this now. You can win if you want to, but me and Ham are going to the smooth glass for a drink. You're more than welcome to come if you want to.
Mace paused for a moment before letting out a defeated sigh.
You know, you really take the fun out of this.
He reclaimed Silver Hand from the fighting pit, as Bossanova did the same with his Beyblade.
I think I'll have to pass on the drink, though, as I'm unfortunately on a bit of a time crunch. Although I will in earnest wish you a good time, you and your creepy puppet friend.
Thanks, we will. Also, anyone present in the audience is welcome to join us for a drink and a song.
To this, the audience, who at this point were rocking the whole arena with applause and cheers, now rejoiced even harder, many of them jumping up in their seats or throwing off their hats. The arena didn't take too long to clear out after that, most of the audience following after Bossanova and Ham, creating the second largest impromptu parade in Yezmandaz's history. Meanwhile, Maze rejoined his companions just outside.
What are you all smiling about?
Maze asked, clearly not in the mood.
Did you make a new friend there, Maze?
Suino teased.
Suino, I don't mean to insult you or anything, but how the hell did you come to the conclusion that I have any respect for that guy?
Well,
Dia put in.
you did let him have his moment with Ham during the battle. You could have pretty easily finished him off while they were having their reunion.
That's just because the whole thing was distracting me too much. It's not every day you get to see something like that.
Sure.
Chorused the party at once.
Redpath, remind me next time not to separate from the larger group. The rest of you aren't allowed to make friends anymore.
The end.
Yeah, holy shit.
I mean, first time I read this, I didn't expect like the Beyblade turn, but then they came in with Ham also. I was like, whoa.
Oh, what's this?
Hmm?
Oh, okay.
What's happening?
Hold on a moment. No, keep discussing this by all means.
Okay, right.
Decro, this was not a mistake. This was the opposite of a mistake. Also,
Yes.
I would just like to point out, I actually showed you all the twist before we actually started this whole thing. It's a little something that you might have to look around for in this little piece of art.
Yes. Might have to look around for in this very picture you see before you.
All right.
Ah, man. That was absolutely amazing.
All right. So we have. Oh man, this next one.
Yes. It's time. It's time.
Finally.
Oh man, this next up
Okay.
is
Well.
Well,
Ebonwood High School.
yes, a story by Earthy Truce. Evanward High School. Shall I read the notes?
Yes, please do.
The summary, I mean.
Yeah, summary, go for it.
Mace wakes up to high school, which he really hates, but he has to go because Suino would die if he didn't.
Oh my god. You might have to prompt me on some of the musical prompts because I think I don't have my notes for this one. Shit.
Well,
Yeah.
how about I can start us off?
If you feel free. Hold on a moment. And here we go.
Mace awoke to a world of pain and hate. This would not be the first time he had suffered such agony as his long-time housemate and practically mother, Suino, opened his curtains. Ah, not the sweat release of death, Mace thought, as he fervently wished for it.
Rise and shine!
Denoted Suino, already dressed and ready. Mace had no idea why he was allowing this demon to habitate his house, but he sure hated whatever reason that weighs. Boy oh boy, did the Mace not want to wake up to the first day of his senior year at Ebon Ward High School. He felt like crying, but he couldn't be bothered to give enough of a shit.
Fuck off, Sui, no!
Mace severely retorted as he rolled around in bed. Suino, stubborn as a mule, decided
stubborn!
Stubborn as a mule, decided that no, Mace would not sleep in, and instead ripped off the covers of his bed in a fit of cruel delight. Mace was sure she was a demon.
Wake the fuck up, bitch! I'm not your mom. You should get ready for school. We're going there today together, and I will not be late because your ass couldn't be bothered to get out of bed.
Suino promptly left the room, slamming the door. Mace relented his refusal to wake up and dressed up in a dope hoodie, which was also a cloak because of canon compliance, winky face. He also put on some slightly ripped jeans in the thighs, showing his pasty white skin, even though no one asked for it. Hold on.
Sorry. Keep going.
Sorry. He also equipped his favorite crystal dagger in case he had to stab a bitch, but kept it hidden so that he wouldn't be busted by the school hall monitor, which was Roman, who Mace wanted to kill. Music?
Oh.
Mace brushed his teeth and did all the things he needed to do to get ready for his first day of senior year. He walked downstairs to see Breadpath making breakfast in Mace's kitchen. What was this? A communal apartment? Look, he understood Redpath lived next door, but come on, man, you can't. Come on, man, you can't just walk into his crib and start making breakfast. Sighing and whispering the word "Baka," Mace sidled up to Redpath and asked,
"Hey, Redpath, what can I do? What can I do you to help with that?"
Redpath hesitated, as Mace was a shitty cook. "Can you crack that egg?" Mace cracked an egg, but rolled a nat 1, so it was bad and had pieces of eggshell in it. After making a decent breakfast and eating it, Mace looked at the clock and realized he was going to be late if didn't leave in a few seconds! Exclamation point S.
Suey now!
Mace shouted.
Get the fuck out of here! We're gonna be late! Sorry, we're going to be late!
He then proceeded to death leave Suino behind with her impeded 20 feet speed. As he barreled out of the door, Redpath's shortil behidden him as he sprinted out of his apartment. Suino quickly came running out after the two, angry at Mace and shouting at him all the way to school. As he approached the school, he saw Nash waiting at the gates for him. Nash was the chillest bitch in school, the best football player and most popular dude ever, despite looking like a piece of garbage 12-year-old. Mace knew his secret, though, because he was his best friend. Nash was actually a Null who squeezed himself as a human boy when going to school. Mace had a huge crush on Nash ever since they were young children at the Ebon Ward Middle School, but could never tell Nash because it would ruin his bad boy attitude.
You shouldn't have raided for me, idiot.
Mace extorted, acting disappointed in Nash.
You would be later.
Nash shook his head. Nash like Mace. Without Mace, school no fun. If Mace not here, Nash, not either. Mace was almost in tears, but pulled his hood down instead. Isn't Ted to shade his eyes in the cool animes, hiding his tears.
Whatever. Let's just go so the... Sorry, I need to compose myself.
Compose yourself, bitch. Compose.
I'm the chillest bitch.
Yes.
Whatever. Let's just go so the dumbass hall monitor leaves us alone.
Excuse you, leaves you alone.
Leaves you alone.
Mace said, acting like he didn't care, but he did. He walked past Nash, Suion, and Redpath in tow as he entered the main hall. He immediately saw Roman, the asshole, and booked it down the hallway to get to his first class in the central division in the school. Roman saw him, however, and marched over to them.
What are you doing, weenie boy?
Roman demanded, looking like an evil redhead as he proudly wore his stupid hall monitor sash. Mace groaned.
Going to fucking class instead of being a cocksucker, you piece of human trash.
He retorted. Roman seemed ready to steamroll a bitch before Nash right up punched Roman in the face, grabbing Mace's hand and running away towards the first class together. Is Mace okay? Asked Nash as he practically carried Mace's weight, sprinting at full speed.
Yeah, I'm good.
Mace replied, blushing underneath his hood, which he held down against his face, afraid to show his true feelings. Then why hide face? Did Roman hurt it? Nash said in his
You're like straying into goblin territory. I love it.
Nash said in his sensitive, gruff voice. He was concerned.
That's nothing you need to know. Bake.
Mace said, leaping out of Nash's arms and running into Sir Remington's classroom. Sir Remington was a skeleton, but also a teacher who taught things at Edward High School. He was pretty cool, keeping it real as he taught his students things. He was supposed to teach academics, but he mainly prepared the students for their situations which could involve combat. Mace and Nash got paired up to fight to learn things. Nash easily won, trumping Mace mainly because he was distracted and would have won if he hadn't been so distracted because Mace is cool, okay? At triple exclamation point. Mace was embarrassed and flinched on the floor, panting from exhaustion at the feat as he just lost. When Nash picked him and set him on his foot. Good fight!
Just a little deeper and you're good.
Good fight, Nash happy.
There we go, we're back to Nash instead of Goblin.
Nash grinned, making Mace even more embarrassed. Why face red? Did Nash get me sick? Nash kneeled down next to Mace, putting his hand on his forehead to shake for a fever. Yes?
Oh. Is this music?
Yes.
There we go. Sorry. Apologies. Maze sputtered.
Mace stuttered, afraid of his big gay secret.
Oh, wait,
would escape from his mouth.
Wait, no. It's Maze sputtered, pushing himself by the floor away from Nash.
Why? Wait. Yep. You did. Yep. Please read.
Okay, you know what? No, it's nothing. Maze.
Mace stuttered, afraid of his big gay secret would escape from his mouth. Dia, another girl in Mace's life, chose that moment to come up to Mace and Nash, concern on her face. Hey, are you two okay? She asked, hand on her hip, unintentionally looking death sexy. Dia was the prettiest girl in the school and was best friends with Jasper, who was the second prettiest girl in the school, who just so happened to be in that class and was walking up from behind Dia, a snake draped around her neck. Things seemed to be going awry.
Yeah.
Was Jasper's commentary on the matter.
Everything's fine and Dadney. Shut up.
Mace said, his cloak hood falling off to expose his death face of the world. Oh no, Nash would see his gargantuan crush. His big gay secret would be revealed. Mace, do you like an Nash? Dee asked, suddenly omniscient. She scrutinized Mace, Jasper, losing a snake and running away at the same time. Mace stuttered out in denial, looking at Nash in desperation. Rolling a nat 20 on the insight check, Nash was blushing as he looked into Mace's eyes, sparkling all anime-like. Mace, Nash like you a lot. Mace was going to pass out. Nash, the most popular school jock, and his best friend, liking him, the school weed dealer. Oh no! Mace felt like he was going to pass out. Oh, he did. Nash was sorely disappointed. His own big gay secret was out, and Mace hadn't even confirmed his feelings, even though Nash knew his amazing insight roll. He looked to Dia, who seemed to shrug a "not me," and looked at Mace's limp body. Nash sighed before picking him up to go outside, walking past the bread path, who laughed, "Ha! Gay," before returning to slicing up a piece of bread and rubbing it on his body to maintain his breadly scent.
Sorry,
Nash started walking through the halls before Bojack spotted Tattoo, and like the shit he was, smirked at them, laughing at their gayness.
Ha! Ha!
Sorry, I can't. Hold on one moment.
Do it!
Nash is big gay.
He shouted, attending death. See, not boyfriend Roman, the hall monitor, who ignored the fact that Bojack wasn't supposed to be in the halls. Roman glared at the two big gays, laughing.
Guess I'll have to send you two to the dungeon. Okay, hold on. Okay. I'm laughing way too much. Guess I'll have to send you two to the dungeon for being in the halls when you're not supposed to be.
Roman cackled maniacally, being an asshole. Nash panicked. Not the dungeon. How could he and Mace be able to escape and have any dates if they were stuck down there? Will Nash and Mace be big gay together? Will they make it throughout he dungeon of Roman? Why is Roman not also big gay? Find out next time. If you want the next time, IDFK, this is a mess. On Ebonward High School. Review R&R. Your ratings make my day.
I'm so sorry I couldn't keep it together during that. Okay, so a little bit of context, I suppose, is a little bit of context is that, as I mentioned earlier, last week we read Metroid High School together, which is something that I might consider reading at some point on this channel, on this Twitch channel. But this was Earthy Truce basically doing an amazing homage to Metroid High School.
Earthy. You. Oh, thank. Fuck you, Savvy. I practiced so that I wouldn't laugh at
God,
this, and
we-
here you come. Here you come, laughing
I'm
your
sorry.
ass
We
off.
legit, the last two, this one and fucking the other one, we were practicing these so that we wouldn't fuck up and laugh during them, and that we would be able to keep it together. But it's just not fucking possible.
You guys are too funny.
Oh my god.
You're too good at.
There is a couple of really fucking great moments in this. I personally really like where is it? Here we go. Before returning to slicing up a piece of bread and rubbing it on his body to maintain his breadly scent.
Now we know why you're at bus. Oh yeah. Yay.
Okay. Also, what was it? I just love what the thing that the phrase that works perfectly of this is does Nash's big gay the rumor come out? Oh, I also fucking like. I really want I really want Marjin to say the line, "Wake the fuck up, bitch! I'm not your mum." I need to hear Martian say that. Alright, I'll tell you what, we were planning a break at this point, and I'm so glad I planned the break at this point, because mother of fucking Christ, we need it. So, we're gonna take...
Do we need one? We have one story left.
Well, here is a little something. Remember when I said, hold on a moment? Well, we have a last-minute submission from...
Oh, shit!
From none other than Warped Lamp.
Oh.
So, we actually have 2 stories left. So, we're going to take a break so that we can read the 2 of these afterwards. And I think we will be... Now, granted, we're going to go into that last one with... just blind, so this is going to be fucking... This is going to be great. But,
oh my god.
Yeah, we have one more, and, strap in. Just...
Oh, no. Lamp, what have you done?
No, well, you also remember the last one.
Oh. Yes. But
All right.
I haven't...
Okay, guys, so... Hold on a moment, let me get the loading GIF on screen. Alright, guys, we're going to take a 10-minute break. I'm literally just going to go get a drink of water so that I don't fucking die of dehydration, because I think I literally cried from laughter while reading that. So, so yeah, 5 minutes, guys. We'll be back in a bit. Feel free to keep the room warm while I'm grabbing a drink.
Sounds good.
I am back.
Welcome back.
Oh my god, I literally... I coughed the first time I took a gulp of this glass of water, because I just... I just can't. Oh my god. So yeah, how's the chat doing? You excited
Yes.
for the last 2? How have you been finding these? I hope we've been doing these justice, even if there has been slip-ups here and there. I'm loving the stories. I'm super glad that I got feedback. How about you, Decro? We've got This is wonderful. I'm really having a blast. I'm really glad everyone's enjoying this. It's really great to see. Also, Kirby has sent us something, which I think could be read in the break, because it's literally only 2 paragraphs.
Why?
The rumor came out...
Come on!
What's that?
I got it too.
Right, here we go. The rumor come out. Does Nash is gay? Nash is gay is the most discussed in the Ebenward High School in the few years ago. Even it has happened in 2018, but some of the high school's still curious about what is exactly happening and to be the reason there is a rumor comes out about his gay. At that time, he became a massive social networking rumor. The public, especially his classmates, are shocked. He just came out and his bad rumor which is spread massively. This time is not about his big boy career, but his bad rumor. This rumor, the rumor is of standardized of hoax. According to the latest report, the last report of this null revealed himself as homosexual. Do you still believe or not? This rumor is really much talked by people, even in a person of his classmates.
Fucking Kirby.
Perfect edit. Perfect edit. Oh, man.
Oh, man. How are you holding up, Sab?
I wish I'd held it together better because I messed up that BoJack voice.
Yeah. I think, honestly, it added a little bit.
It was just every time it was like, okay, Sav, you need to say this line, and then I'd read the line, and it would just be like, oh my god, what am I saying?
What are you doing, weenie boy?
What are you doing, weenie boy? Oh my god! Right, okay.
Oh my god!
Oh my god! Hold on. Okay, that's a special treat for the end, I think.
What secrets are you hiding from me, Savvy?
You know what? I have to. I'm just fucking sharing this now.
Right.
Hold on, go back. Just no music. I need to down.
Okay. Well.
The more
Here
you know.
we go.
Right. Okay, everyone.
What are you gonna show us?
Hold on. Oh, I need to get it so that you can hear it as well. Fuck, how do I do this? I know!
Oh, you know.
Bear with us, guys. This is still technically the break, but this is going to be worth it, trust me. So, I may have received another submission, but not of the type you might be thinking.
Oh. Oh no. I'm worried.
So,
What are you doing?
I'm hopefully going to be able to add this to the music playlist.
No.
Oh, please,
No.
please. Keep the room warm. I need to sort this out. I need to sort the upload out. Trust me, it's worth it.
Okay, let's see. What can I, ChibiSheepi, the most social person who's able to hold the conversation in the room, talk with the chat? Hi, people. How are you doing? Do you have any questions for us? Quick start juggling. I have I have a couple of pencils I can juggle with.
All right, we are motherfucking ready for what's about to happen. So I'm gonna just turn this up full blast. I've not listened to this yet.
God, no. No.
Margin might have sent me something.
Oh my god, Margin.
Here we go.
Wake the fuck up, bitch! I'm not your mom!
Yes! Yes! Margin!
Oh.
King!
Oh my god, I'm lightheaded.
Oh my god. Hey, Savvy, if you ever gonna, stream regularly. Have that be your subscription sound.
That's gonna be the fucking subscription sound. You fucking know. With permission, of course. Oh my god, thank you, Marjan. Okay. So this break was to cool off, right?
No, it wasn't.
Oh my god, okay. Oh, well. Let's get to business, because we have one originally planned one, and we have one last final submission.
Are we gonna leave the last one as a surprise, or?
Oh, I'm not going to say the title yet, that's for sure. But I have revealed that it is indeed written by Lamp, so we have that much. But
okay.
But this last one, first of all, is one of the ones we actually originally received. Also, don't forget what we have planned for this one. Do you remember where it is? Yeah.
Yeah. Don't worry.
Cool.
Don't worry about it.
Good. All right.
I am so fucking ready.
Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back from the what was meant to be a break. And let me introduce you to it. It Tooks Two to Toongo, written by Nubby. Strap the fuck in, motherfuckers.
Here we go.
Here we fucking go. In but before the morning, Tim, it was getting light out already, and Brendan Fraser was a walking to the outhouser that was holding the big beatie. The beastie was also Nash, good boy. See now, Nash was a very good boy, but was acting poorly because he was very angry with Suino. Suiono was cutting Nash's hair, but messed up to bad and made it look terrible. It was so bad that Max said this fuck and laughed at him. Author's note. I know it is spelled bad, okay? I just had the backspace broken and can't go back to fix the problem, Cass. Nash was in the outhouse crying because he was sad about his new haircut. Benak Fasur opened the door and saw Nash crying.
Nash, what is wrong with your eyes?
He said, concerned.
Hair look bad, no good,
said Nash to Branana Fugashir. Then he took out a knife and started to cut his top of his hair again. Brianna Fiasor looked at the eye patch that was streaming, crying tears that were sad, and he was sad too.
Come on, old boy,
shooted Bracken Frazier.
Let's blow this lemonade stained.
Come,
Tam, go with me, and you will not be sad anymore. Okay,
staged Nash, and he agreed. But then someone was whistling in the bushes behind them. Outhouse, and it was Maze! Whistle, whistle, whistled Maze. You... Oh, sorry, no, that's not in quotation marks. My apologies, let me read that properly. Whistled Maze, you fool, you cannot tango, because I am here. I am Maze, and you cannot escapo the maze. It is too big. Nas and Brendan Fraser were in the maze.
Come on, Brenny,
said Nas.
We have to run the maze.
And Breenine Fisher agreed. Then Nash and Breely ran the mazer, and Nash pulled Maze into the well. And then Nash barked, asked Dia, and told that Maze was in the well, and Dog presented the way to the well.
What's that, boy? Maze is in the well?
Dioa sated with a nat 1 oin perception.
Yes, for the last time, you stupid. Okay, you don't have K2 base sourpuss.
Then Nash told Dia to pull Mouse out of the well with her mage hand, and she did it with no problem.
My hero, said Maze, and he was gripping her closely and tightly.
No, Gnus.
Brennianin turned to Nash. And now we can go tango for two. And they tangoed for a while to get through hand in hand, and Nash was almost happy. Almost. Sudden, Suino crashed into the party, and they all went, what? Nash is sad as sumo. I have come to give you back your hair forcefully. Suino was menace. Nash was scarred, but Bainan fracture was... Brinny Feature knew that Tit took two to tango, as he had just learned as he was dancing with Nash a few moments ago.
Gnus doesn't want his hair back right now.
Said Brienne Falafel.
You cut it all off and now it's dead.
But I'm only sorry and want to make things right with you, Nash.
Suno was ignoring Brandon. How... That's you, sir.
How dare he!
Said Brene, and they fought bloodily. Suino took out her big sword. Oh, Suino took out her big sword and slashed at Bin Fiction. Slash! It went out, and Brady was out of an arm, and his other arm fell off swiftly.
I can still bite your legs off!
Said Black Knight Fister, and he broke off her arms. Ow! Yowled Suino, and she yelled louder and louder and louder and louder and louder until it was too loud for her to continue louding. Incredible violence, shot Maze Mayor, and Suna and Brick made up by shaking hands.
To be continued! Not me, you piece of shit. This is the only, fic we couldn't read a single time without laughing our asses off.
Oh my god. Why did we cluster all the comedy ones into one go?
I don't know.
Oh my god. And we still have one left.
Juan. We have Juan left.
We have Tio Juan left.
Tio Juan.
Alright, I'm gonna put this on, oh my god. Hold on. The serendipity. It's perfect.
What?
Remember that piece of art you made?
Oh no, okay, fine.
It actually fucking works.
Oh no. Okay, fine then.
Right, so, in an unprecedented level of fortune and serendipity, Chibi did us up a Shoto maze, and it actually kind of gets to act as the introductory art for this late submission, which is titled Maze X Myers. Let me link you the doc, Chibi.
Looks like the shit poster has been shit posted.
It's happened.
Linking me this. Oh, good God.
Oh, I'll be sure to. By the way, I got a message from Kirby. I'll be sure to get the the Martian clip everywhere it needs to be. Don't worry. assuming that I'm given permission.
Yeah.
I don't.
that first.
Yeah, just in case you don't want to be associated with Eben Ward High School. Well, I don't know why you wouldn't want to be. Right.
Lamp, why is this 2 pages?
Well, we're gonna read this motherfucker. All right.
Oh God.
Are you ready? We're going in blind. Shall I do the narration for this one?
Yeah.
Cool. Without further ado, will I please present to you Maze X Myers. Author's note. I did this during the stream because I'm a very inspired and talented person. Follow me at twitch.tv/warplamp. Tell your friends. Jokes aside, I'm very happy that you guys put this together, and it really does mean a lot to me. So I thought I'd contribute something too. So here's a little bit of Maze's backstory as a thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, we'll get to that. On a day identical to hundreds of others, Maze sat alone in his shoebox of a room in the Silverhand HQ. His daily routine of staring at the ceiling until his mentor came in was going uninterrupted until his mentor came in.
Oh.
Go for it. Who is his mentor? Is this just a mentor?
Yeah.
Is this nameless mentor? Cool, go.
No.
You take this one.
Bad news, Mace. It looks like we're going to be in for a long one.
He said, loud enough to break the assassin from his trance, but not loud enough to actually startle him. Ah, said Maze, startled. After quickly pulling his composure back together, he responded.
Why does it matter if it's going to be a long one? There have been dozens of long ones before this one, and there will be dozens after it.
Cheery as ever, aren't you?
He responded, not especially surprised at the lack of personal opinion. He quickly cleared his throat and continued.
You're going to be going down to a little town called Broken Wheel. You've ever heard of it?
No.
Yeah, me neither. It's some shithole in the middle of nowhere. Apparently your Mark is going to be passing through there in a few weeks. You know the one, right?
Yes, he's a man about this tall with a big hat and a scar from his forehead to his chin.
That's you. No, that's me.
Yeah.
May said in a rehearsed manner, despite this being the first time he had been asked about it.
That's the one. If you double time it there, you should be able to cut him off and snuff him out before he becomes too big. It becomes too much of a fucking problem. Big fucking problem.
I'll get there as soon as possible then,
May said, standing up to leave.
Hold on, kid. There's something else I wanted to tell you.
Okay.
Maze replied in his usual indifferent tone.
You can't just be Mace forever, you know. In the civilized world, people have last names. It'll be real suspicious if you keep going around with only a first name.
Okay.
Maze replied in the exact same tone.
If you don't want people to think of you as some kind of monster from the get-go, you need to at least pretend that you're proper flesh and blood.
I don't care if people think I'm a monster,
said Maze as he attempted to walk out the door, no longer especially interested in what his mentor had to say.
Fine then. I care if people think you are a monster, and I'm in charge here.
His mentor said, trying to repair the situation using his authority over Maze. He didn't especially like pulling rank over him, but it seems like the only thing that would get him to listen sometimes.
Okay,
said Maze replied quickly, falling back in line.
Now I want you to think long and hard about the last name to use for yourself, because...
Myers.
I'm sorry?
I'll be Maze Myers.
Oh, great. What made you pick that name?
Maze paused for a moment as he furrowed his brow ever so slightly, fishing around in his mind to find the right set of words to properly express what the name meant to him. After about 10 seconds, he finally figured it out.
I don't fucking know.
Maze was then swiftly slapped on the back of the head.
Who taught you that kind of language, kid?
His mentor said, disgusted by his pupil's foul language.
You were literally the only person I talked to,
Maze replied as he rubbed the back of his head and walked out the door. That was not what I was expecting, but that was dope.
Hell yeah!
Yeah, that was cool. I was going into that expecting a shitpost, but you actually came... I don't know why I didn't expect the guy who made Maze Myers to write actual Maze Myers backstory. Oh my god. But yeah, no, that was great. Absolutely awesome. Oh. But yeah, and also, let's just address... Thank you so much for coming out to watch us as well. Like, we when we set up this whole thing and we were like planning everything and putting the dates together and all of that, we we're honestly like a little bit nervous that we wouldn't necessarily get a whole lot of submissions, let alone people coming in to watch. But to see you guys like really supporting this and like genuinely like trying to help us out as much as possible with putting forward the message of this, it genuinely means a lot, and it's the least we could do to show our appreciation for your fantastic streams.
And also thank you to everyone who submitted their work.
Oh yeah, fucking
was...
like bravo.
Oh,
seriously.
Hell
Fucking
yeah.
to all of you. Hold on, is there an applause sound effect on here?
Of course we don't have.
Of course we don't. We're not that planned. Jesus Christ, what do you think we are? Some kind of fucking miracle workers?
No, wait. I know what to give everyone. There we go. Thank you.
Hold on. I've got
No, you can't perfect my shitpost. Fuck off.
Wake the fuck up, bitch! I'm not your mom!
Oh, wow. Okay. You made it better.
That was for you guys.
Holy fuck.
Oh, man. Yeah, I can safely say, everybody, that, like, this was an absolute fucking blast, and, I'll take a second to also go through all the art that we did for each of these fics as well, because, like, that was a whole lot of fun as well, and I'd like you guys to see, I'm just humble bragging, you know, nothing big.
Yeah, I've noticed.
Right.
I've noticed that big ego of yours in the horizon.
Right, okay. So, the first one, once again, was a weird welcome. This one was done by ChibiSheepi.
No, that's wrong. There.
Yeah, no, I accidentally put the best one first.
Yes.
No, but yeah, we got a weird welcome. This one was done by Chibi. Really nice colors, really love it, and the best depiction of a bear you could hope for. Next up is also by Chibi, and just like the most unsettling way of drawing peanut butter I've seen in a while, to be honest. We've got Disastrous Druid Duo, done by myself. I had a lot of fun with this one. I especially really am proud of the little crest in the middle.
The time is your timing on the switching between pictures is a little off.
Sorry.
There.
Yeah. Yeah.
No.
Oh well, it will be in time for when like.
All right. Sorry, I'm looking at the stream. Of course, it's
Your
off.
stream is 30-second delay. Don't worry.
Okay, never mind. Keep talking. I'll shut up.
And here's the fanfic I should have done better on: A Night in a Lonely Inn. This one again by Chibi, and like genuinely like, I just want to give you props here. You constructed some real fucking nice posters for these. So like, top notch guys.
Thank you. I felt like I was drawing the title cards for like a Sunday morning cartoon that no one watches. Like on.
I would have watched it.
No, it would be like Courage the Cowardly Dog made by like a really like unknown studio.
Next up, we've got Can't Get an Idea, also by Chibi. Chibi did a lot of the art. And this is also the first one that we tried out this whole format with, and it went super well, so we did the rest of them. We've got...
I may or may not have tried to, like, you know, make movie posters of every art. So.
And then I joined in, and it was you were initially like trying to put way too much detail into them. It was like, Chibi, we have a week. Like, come on.
Basically, the Mace Myers edgy thing you saw at the end. I was trying to do that with every single one.
Yeah, so you can imagine I needed to... I legit stepped in. I was just like, let me give you some references and we're going to do them nice and simple. But this is Maze and Bossa Nova Fight Over Something Stupid, also by myself. And for the people who might not have caught it when I was very, very heavily suggesting it, I might have hid the Beyblade logo in... Maze's brooch and Bossa Nova's rose. And by may have, I mean I did. Eben Ward High School, just spot on. just perfect. Exactly what it needed to be. And the masterpiece, which is It Takes Two to Tungo. And I would criticize you for misspelling it as takes rather than the actual title, Tukes. But
Well,
I think,
no, I
but I
spelled
think,
it right.
but I think it's better that it's misspelt correctly. I don't think I'd ever say the words misspelt correctly. So there you go. But yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Let's fucking great shit, guys. Thank you so much. And also, we've got some really fantastic messages in the chat from you guys. I am honestly overwhelmed. I just yeah, thanks. I really fucking hope that the video doesn't balls up when I stop streaming. So
Yeah. Everyone, thank you so much for coming by. This was really fun.
yeah, like we
was
legitimately
fun.
had we were like solidly hovering between 30 to 40 people, which is like 30 times what I thought we'd have. So, you know.
Yeah. And like, man, I don't know. Sorry if I sounded nervous, because I was.
Oh no, guys, give it up for Chibi, because like
No, don't.
No, seriously, because I'm pretty used to talking in front of crowds. I've performed in front of crowds before, quite frequently, but Chibi, this is like the first kind of deal that they've done with this whole business, and you absolutely nailed it. I wouldn't have thought that this was your first time doing this kind of thing.
I literally had sat in a conversation with Savvy and the other art thoughts yesterday, and after a while I started coughing because I wasn't used to talking so much.
Whereas I talk for anywhere between 5 to 8 hours quite regularly, because I run far too many D&D games. But I love them all. Anyway, is there anything else you'd like to say before we properly wrap this up, Chibi?
This was incredibly fun. It was really fun making this. It was really fun performing this. It was really fun seeing everyone here and taking part and enjoying. It was really fun getting sudden last-minute submissions. Man, I don't know what to say. Thank you. This was a lovely first time streaming experience for me, and like I wouldn't exchange it for anything else. Thank you.
Yeah,
honestly.
I'm glad. Thank you for giving me being involved in a project which I could actually see come to fruition, because this was, and you are an absolute joy to work with. So thank you as well. Oh,
thank you, Savvy.
I did remember one thing I want to do. I'm actually kind of interested in doing some more streaming. Not necessarily. Chibi may not necessarily be around for it, depending on how you feel, Chibi. But
I mean, I'm heavily interested now. But
yeah, no, but you are absolutely welcome on the channel. This is for all intents and purposes. I consider you a co-host here now. But I'm just quickly putting together a straw poll just to see what you guys would like to see from us. I'll probably do whatever I like anyway, but
yeah,
I want to give you some options.
Sneaky bitch making straw polls behind my back.
Hey, I have to be a good host, okay?
Sure you do.
Don't give me this.
I can't do the sweaty goblin. I've tired myself out.
Instead, I'll just go for.
I'm actually, if there's one thing I would like to say, like that I'm not so happy about, it was that I didn't get the chance to voice Frotz. I would really have liked to do a Frotz voice in Loving Cragmer's Fisher, but I didn't get it. I was like, no.
Yeah, the fic that was shipping Calibrook and Frotz had a grand total of 2 words from one of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, guys, straw poll just got linked in the chat, so you can answer that in your own time. I don't necessarily have to show the results on stream. And I will I will take into consideration what you guys want to see. One way or another, we may very well see Metroid High School getting read on here, because you just need to experience it. It's fantastic. Anyway, we're dragging this on. We should probably wrap up. I've been talking a lot.
I have to learn to talk more.
We will see you on the flip side. Thank you so much. We love you all. Have a fantastic evening. Bye.
Yes. Bye.